Welcome to Vanlife Goodies and a happy Christmas. Sorry for mentioning the word. Today's episode is all about what do you buy someone who loves a campervan, and in my opinion it is not what you think it's going to be. Every campervan journey is a little bit different. Some people like to go on campsites in their campervan, and other people like to wild camp. Some people like to just relax when they get on a holiday, and other people like to go hiking or cycling or visiting castles and things like that. And some people have a small van, and some people have like a big motorhome or a big van like mine. And so it's really important that the three things you consider before you're thinking about what you're going to get someone who loves campervanning for Christmas are: what size van do they have? Is it a small van or a larger van, as in the level of space they have? Do they love hiking or cycling? How do they use their van when they get there, or do they like to just relax? And thirdly, what items do they already have in their van? So if you've been away with them, or you know that they've bought certain things for their camper van, just bear that in mind. So I'm going to go through now some ideas for gifts for people who love campervans. I hope you find it useful. They're not necessarily things I would want, but they are some things that I think would be useful and some people would like. And then you need to decide that those three things that I've just said, the size of their van, the type of person they are and how they use it, consider those things before you buy them. Okay. So the first one is to consider experience days. So rather than buying them a physical item for their campervan, if you get a voucher for an experience day to do something like, I've put some ideas like meals out, spa days, flying lessons, they do those motocross things, experiences, anything like that. Experience days, it could literally be an afternoon tea, but experience days in a certain place allow someone a reason to go away in their camper van to have that experience day. So it kind of gives it gives an opportunity for a trip away. So one of the things we recently did was the old forge, where Dave and Ruby forged a dagger. They're now flattening it. I like that. Wow. Fantastic. And someone recently said they watched our video and went there and had a great time and made a dagger, and it was such an experience. Now, it wasn't cheap, but I think we bought that as a present for, I think it was for Dave for his birthday, or for Ruby for one of them, and that was their experience. And we made a whole weekend of that in our camper van, and it was just fantastic, and they really enjoyed it. And it was the kind of thing that you wouldn't just normally do every day. So it was a real opportunity. So places like Virgin Days, Red Letter Days, Buy a Gift. I'll put all the links below in the description of the video of everything I mentioned in this video. But these are places where you can go and browse what kind of experience gifts they do, and they usually just email it to you and it's all paid for, and then you can gift that to your loved one. So the next one is subscriptions. So we are, again, not talking about physical items, we're talking about subscriptions too. And here's some examples. So I've got some notes here, that's why I keep looking. So the Green Campsite it's only £12 a year membership, but it shares, if you like campsites, so again, if you know someone who uses their van but they love campsites, but they're like nature, these Green Campsites memberships gives you access to campsites that are, as it says, more green, more eco-friendly, less in lines like, you know, like some campsites are. There's much more, you feel like you're in nature even though you have the facilities of a campsite. So the Green Campsite, it's only £12 a year membership, so maybe you could get a membership for something like that. Another subscription idea, if you are more of a wild camper, would be a Park for Night subscription. So that's only, again, £10 a year, but it allows the person with the subscription to get offline maps, to create trips. So say I'm going to Wales, I'll create a Wales trip, and I add lots of places that I might stay in Wales from Park for Night. There is a free version, but the £10 gets you like low emission zones. It gets you more places on the screen than you would on the free version, and you can create folders for a trip. So again, it's only £10, but I think it's a really useful subscription that someone who has a camper van, who wild camps, would really appreciate, if they haven't already got it, of course. Okay, the next one, of course, is the famous National Trust. National Trust offer lots of kind of old, in England, if you're not from the UK, it's all of the mansions, heritage kind of houses. I can't even describe them, just old properties that have been renovated and kept as their original property. And you can always park for free, which is the other thing with National Trust. If you've got a National Trust membership, you can park in a lot of beauty spots that don't necessarily have a building or gardens, but you can park there for free, and there's often a lot of places that are really worth a visit. So the National Trust ranges from about £48 to £170, depending on whether it's a family or an individual. But they are right across the UK, and they're not really worth it for us because we've seen all the ones nearby to us. But if we were travelling much more in England, you know, in the future, then I probably would get a National Trust, because a lot of the parking of beautiful places is National Trust. You can get that for free, and there's lots of places to visit all around the country, and beautiful gardens. Even if you don't like the houses and you're not that fussed about them, the gardens are stunning and really well kept, and they're a lovely day out. So National Trust membership, and you can gift that online. The next one is the other one in the UK, which is English Heritage, which tends to be more kind of castles and castle ruins and renovated castles, you know. They do have other things like Stonehenge and Hadrian's Wall, and again, you get the parking for free. That ranges from £42 to £150, depending if it's an individual or a family. But again, that's a wonderful gift. If you've got a family with a bigger camper van or a small camper van, you could gift them that for the year, and that would just give them lots of free opportunity for days out in their camper van. So English Heritage. And then the last subscription I wanted to mention was YouTube Premium, because we all hate the adverts, don't we? So it's £7.99 a month. You could pay for the year, and with YouTube Premium you basically just get no ads, so no interruptions. You don't have to keep the control with you. You could keep pressing skip, or if you're one of my viewers and you watch the adverts, thank you very much, because that helps me out. But if you don't, like most of us, YouTube Premium is a great idea for a subscription for a gift for Christmas. So another idea would be vouchers. So things like vouchers for the cinema, things like Costa Coffee, Greggs, all of the kind of vouchers that you see lying around. And I would suggest get a nice mug with maybe some little hot chocolate, marshmallows or whatever, and then put the voucher in it and then give that as a gift. And I think that's a lovely idea, because let's face it, everybody uses Greggs at some point, or Costa Coffee. It's nice to just pull in, even if you've got a camper van and a kitchen in your back room, in the back of your van. You still fancy a nice coffee now and again. You can warm up in winter. Okay, so on to the things that I think are more camper van related. So I'm looking at this because I've made notes to make sure I kind of mention everything. And so hang on. So I'm going to do novelty items. So novelty items are some things that some people, if I'm honest, don't even want. So you see them in B&Ms, the mugs that have camper vans on, and the biscuit tins with camper vans on. Some people absolutely love them and others don't. So if you look at the type of camper van your friend has, if they've got lots of camper van-y stuff, then they probably would like it. If their camper van is very, like modern, like you see these T6s, these show T6s, they're probably not going to want that kind of vibe. They're probably going to want more kind of practical things for their camper van that aren't necessarily with a picture of a camper van on them. So this is novelty items. So these are for those people that you think would enjoy that. So I'm going to put pictures up on the screen here. So there's actually a camper van you can get, a Campervan Meccano set, and you obviously build it into a camper van. So it's the kind of thing you could do either in your camper van or at home. And if you love camper vans, Campervan Meccano set. There is even a Lego camper van. We once did this for a bit of a joke, because one of the kids got it from my brother actually, and it's a camper van Lego. So if you love Lego and you love camper vans, and it was great fun to do, it really was. Campervan biscuit tin. If you go to B&M's, Home Bargains, those kind of places have like a lovely camper van that then can be used as like a biscuit tin later on, but it's got biscuits in it. They're a nice little gift. Campervan logbook, so you can get these on Amazon, and they're like a book where you can write where you visited, what you liked about it, a bit of a reminder in case you wanted to go back to the place. So people that like to maybe journal might like that in their campervan. So campervan logbook. T-shirts and hoodies, so you can get all sorts of t-shirts and campervan hoodies if you just look on Amazon. There's lots of things you can get with kind of little sayings on the front of, you know, there's also the Fantastic range, and I think the Camper Club do a range of hoodies and t-shirts too. If you go on Etsy, you can actually get, there's also Amazon I think for this as well, but Etsy has a lot more personalised stuff, so you can get like key rings with your friend's name on it. You can get like a flask and 2 cups on Amazon and have it personalised with the person's name, so, and they can use that in their campervan. So if you just type in personalised campervan gift in Etsy or Amazon, you'll see some of these products, and you can kind of get them personalised to your friend or loved one's name. So novelty items like these are quite fun. I've actually been sent this. This is a interactive LED sign. I'll show you there. I don't know if you can see this. And it's voice activated. So I've got it plugged into just a portable charger at the minute, just so I can show you. But it's got a voice activated by Bluetooth, so you can tell it what to say. I'm sure you can use your imagination. You can have this at the back of your van. I've just got Vanlife goodies going across at the minute, and they do a larger size as well. So this is just a small one. You can program it to have different eyes and different features and videos, and you can program it to have words going across. I'll be honest, I found the app a little bit fiddly to figure out, but I'm not a tech wizard, so I'm sure most people would figure it out easily enough. And you can have it at the back of your car, so that when you speak into the Bluetooth thing, this little Bluetooth thing that would be wired to the front, it will you know, play whatever you ask it to. So I'll stick a link below to the Atoto AI interactive LED sign. So that's a nice little novelty item. Okay, so to the things that people like me like, practical things. So I'm going to show you a few practical things. Whoop. Now, if you don't know, if you watch us, I'm trying to start a website at the moment. If the website's up and running, I'll just put the website and you can go on the website to have a look. But we have an eBay shop and an Amazon shop. They're affiliate links. They're basically things that we recommend, and we put them on that shop. So if you go and have a look at all the items that we would recommend, see if there's anything there that you think would be a great gift for someone. But if you're interested in anything that we mention or you see us using in the campervan or on the videos, you can go on the eBay or Amazon shop and buy them. So this is fantastic. It's a practical item. It's the kind of thing you think nothing of unless you've got a campervan, especially women, and you put an outfit on and you can't see what you've got. And this is basically a folding mirror, but it's a folding, full length mirror. If you put it kind of far enough away, you can kind of see your outfit, and I've found this fantastic. And also, because I have big hair, if I've just got a little mirror, I can't see what I'm doing with my hair. So that is fantastic, and it's coming really useful, and it's not glass, so it's safe to have in a campervan, and it stores really well, even in a small campervan. So I think that's an ace gift. And I feel like if you got someone who has a campervan, they'll be like, oh my goodness, that's so useful. Especially a woman. Okay, so folding mirror, magnetic spice rack. So I'll stick a little image here of the magnetic spice racks. We've got a different spice rack now. We've just got a normal spice rack because we've got the space. But someone with a T5, T6, the smaller vans, there's kind of nowhere to put a spice rack, and it takes up too much cupboard space. So these magnetic spice racks, they hold a lot of spice, and you just magnetise them to your fridge. So they're absolutely fantastic, and they look really cool. So magnetic spice rack, and they're a cool thing to gift someone for Christmas. Next one, I'm going to do a shameless plug to my Vanlife goodies waste bins or storage bins. They're basically they're homemade, made in different fabric styles to go with your camper van. You come in a set of two, one that goes over the headrest for the back, one that goes over the gear stick for the front. And basically, because when I had my T5, I was like, there's no bin and there's no room for a bin. So they're not great if you're going for like a 2-week holiday, but for everyday use, for just kind of putting stuff in, and they're washable. They've got like liners that are waterproof inside, so you can wash them, wipe them, but I still use mine now. And they're a set of two and lots of different designs. So you can, again, go on our eBay shop to have a look at those designs if you're interested. But I think they'd be a great gift for Christmas. Even people that have a car, they can be used in a car. If you've got like a blue car, you could pick a blue design, and they've got a bin that goes on the back of the headrest and one for the cab. Because let's face it, nobody wants a messy cab. Right, the next one, Stanley mugs and flasks. Now, Stanley have they do a mug and a flask with a lifetime guarantee. Now, we've used this lifetime guarantee because one of the seals went on our Stanley flask. No problem at all. They sent us I think they sent us a whole new flask actually, but Stanley are fantastic. So Stanley, you have a flask, right, and it keeps things warm, but Stanley will keep it warm till the next day. Literally, the next day it will be piping hot. And the mugs are the same, and the food flasks are the same. They're absolutely brilliant. They are expensive, but they're the kind of thing that sometimes it's worth paying up front the cost. It's worth paying a bit extra up front for something that's going to last longer. I mean, we've got Stanley flasks that we've had for 20 years and they're still going strong. They're absolutely brilliant, so I can't rate them enough. Stanley flasks, Stanley food mugs. The food mugs are good, like if you put, I don't know, hot dogs in, stew, whatever, and then go and climb a mountain, you've got something nice to warm when you get there. But the Stanley and the Stanley coffee mugs, they're absolutely brilliant. Not cheap, but worth the money. Stanley stuff. And a lovely gift. So again, don't forget, these are all just ideas. You need to think about the kind of person that you're buying for. So this is just a lead holder. So in a camper van, you lose things. You wouldn't think you could in such a small space, but you literally do. Me and Ruby once lost a full sleeping bag, and we searched everywhere and we couldn't find it. And it was just under the bed, but we couldn't get to it and we couldn't see it, and we lost it. And then when we unpacked the camper van later, we were like, oh my goodness, it was there. You'd be surprised what you can lose. So this, it basically just holds all of your leads for your phones, computers, whatever. I mean, I've probably got a bit more because I do filming, but it just folds flat like that and keeps everything tidy. So if you're an organised person, or you're buying for an organised person and they like electronics, then one of these would be dead useful. The other thing that's great in a camper van is either practical or novelty. Hot water bottles. This is a hot water bottle. Hello, my Christmas one. Because you do use hot water bottles in a camper van in winter especially, and it's a lovely gift to give someone if they, I don't know, they love cows. You know, you can get them like a cow one, or you can get the long ones, the long hot water bottles, and they're really good to kind of put between two of you to kind of cozy up. So they're a great idea. I've also put microfiber towels. So microfiber towels, they're not the nicest to dry yourself with, but they dry really quickly. So for camper vans, they're ideal because they dry really quickly. They're great as a hand towel or a washing, a full shower towel. They do the job and they dry quickly, and they often come with a little hook. You can get them from Decathlon or you can get them online, and they'll hook onto things in your camper van. So microfiber towels. Collapsible buckets. So I think, can I show you? So here's an example of some collapsible things. So I have a collapsible sieve. That obviously collapses. I've got a collapsible just washing bowl. So this is just for like washing your face and your bits and stuff like that. So I keep that separate from my food washing bowl. This is my washing up bowl. Even though I've got a sink, we tend to use the sink to dump all the pots, and then we uncollapse this, use it, and then it just gets put away again. And we did that even with the T5 because the sink's so small. You kind of use it as a bit of a dumping ground, and then you put your washing up bowl on a table, do your washing up, put it away. So they're really good. You can also get sets of these. These are all on my Amazon shop. Collapsible kind of tubs, because I don't know, if you go for a walk, you make a butty, or you've got anything that you just need to keep leftovers, but you don't want that in your cupboard, it's just too big. And these just collapse to nothing, so they're dead useful. So I know it's practical. Maybe some people are like, why would I buy someone that for Christmas? But I'm a practical person. I'd be like, oh, what a great idea. So, you know, everyone's different. Think about who you're buying for. Hang on. My husband's brought me a coffee. Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Dave. Bye. Rechargeable hand warmers. Now these are dead good because you can get those hand warmer things that you just like shake them up and they warm your hands, but then you just throw them away. Or you can get like, it's like a little pebble. My mum used to have one. This is how I know about it, because her hands got really cold with arthritis. And they're USB chargeable. And I remember, if you're in a camper van and you've got a solar panel, then you've basically got free electric. So anything that's USB chargeable is really helpful and provides free stuff. So rechargeable hand warmer would be a great idea for someone in their camper van. And you just charge it up and then you take it on your little walk and you can warm your hands. A first aid kit is always a good idea, maybe a bit too practical and boring, but you know, you could make it your own and stick some fun plasters in or something, I don't know. First aid kit is, everybody needs a first aid kit. A safe or security tin. So I've talked about this on another video. I've got a safe in my camper van that's actually bolted underneath the camper van inside the safe, so I can put items in it. But you can also get things like those, a monster can or a bean can that is like safe and secure. And there's wallets you can get that you can put money in that have a code. So anything like that are a great idea. And the other thing that you could do, if all of these are like, they're quite low cost items, but you could create a hamper with some nice food, marshmallows, you know, maybe one of those safe monster cans, maybe a hand warmer, you know, create a little hamper of whatever size you can afford of a few different items, you know, maybe a little hot water bottle in the back. And I think that would be a great gift for someone who's maybe just got a camper van or is thinking of getting a camper van, or, you know, you just think that I'm not sure what to get, so I'll get a few little items. So a hamper. Just before I go on to the next section, if you've got this far and you like to watch kind of ideas for camper vans or travelling in our camper van, don't forget to click the subscribe, and if you click the bell, it'll harass you every time I put a video up. If you've liked this video, stick the like, because that helps other people see it in the algorithm. And if you want to hype it, even awesome. There's a new hype button. Yeah, not everybody knows it's there. Press hype and it gives me a bit of a push to the top, and thank you very much. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine. Thank you for watching this far. On to the next bit. So a couple of cooking items I wanted to share with you that I think are really helpful. If you watch the channel, you know exactly what I'm going to say here. The first one is an SQ grill. They're about 30 quid. These are fantastic. Yes, they look large, but in my T5 we used to keep it down the side of the back of the driver's seat. But you use them all the time. They're a fantastic size for a family or a couple or even a single person. You can do a full meal in it, and they're basically an oven on a hob. Chips, garlic bread, onion bhajis, dough balls, pizzas you can warm up. As long as you keep the heat slow and just let it work, they're absolutely brilliant. So can't recommend that enough. SQ Professional Grill. It's literally a going joke in the family because I rave about this so much. And they're also called a Derain grill. I think another company's got them as well. So they are a Derain grill as well. Same one. If you have a little bit more money and you want something amazing and you've got a family member or someone that you're buying for that absolutely loves cooking, they like to make lasagnas and pastas and shepherd's pies and apple crumbles, and you know, like, you want to bake basically, you can literally, but all they've got is 2-ring hob in their camper van. This is amazing. So I've just bought this, an Omnia oven. Well, Dave kind of got it me for my birthday, but I kind of said, this is what I want for my birthday, I'll order it now. You know, so thank you very much, Dave. An Omnia oven. Now, I've got the extra large one, and I've got a blue lid. I bought all separately. I've got the top tray for it. I bought the inserts for it. I literally went full hog. Oh, I got the bottom tray for it, and I got the non-stick pan, and you get this. So if you just go and buy an Omnia oven, you get the bottom tray, you get the pan, not the non-stick one, and you get the lid. Now, you don't have to have the non-stick one. I just went full belt and got everything, and you can buy it all separately. It's all on my Amazon shop if you want to buy it separately. But if you buy this just as an item, you don't get the thermometer. You have to buy everything separately, which is a bit of a pain. You just get the red lid, the large one, and the bottom. You can get a smaller one, but I would recommend getting the large, because then you've got the option of cooking less in it or more, you know, rather than having a small one and wishing you got a bigger one. So I'd definitely go for the big one. The only problem with this, of course, is if you have a small camper van, because a small camper van, that's a lot of space. Now, I keep mine in my microwave, so it's easy. When I'm not using the microwave, that's where it's stored. It's not a problem in a bigger van. But in like a T5, I think I would question whether it's worth the extra space for this. But I mean, I'm actually loving this because I've got a bigger kitchen now. I've baked cakes in this. I've done an apple crumble. I've done a potato gratin. It's so nice. If you want to go cheaply, I would just get the original. It's about 50 quid for the set with the red lid, all on my Amazon shop. If you want to go like full hog, I would definitely recommend, see if that's the right one, yeah. I would definitely recommend getting the bottom rack, because basically what happens is the heat comes from underneath and it creates an oven-like effect. So you've basically got an oven on a gas hob. But because it's constant, anything directly on the bottom does get a little bit, I say burnt, but crisped. So if you've got this bottom rack, it does stop it burning. So it should come with it, really, I would argue. But the bottom rack, and then what you can also get, you don't have to buy the Omnia one for this, I've discovered, is you can also get, I don't know if you can see this, the top rack. I'll show you. The top rack, I don't know if you can see, just sits on the top, which means you can have maybe chicken or whatever on the bottom and then your chips on the top. So it just means you've got more cooking space. The other option you can have is you can buy these inserts, small ones like that, or the two halves. So with the two halves, let me show you in the Omnia oven. So this is how it looks in the Omnia oven. The two halves, I did a potato gratin on one side and I did a apple and blackberry crumble, if you saw my little video on that on Instagram, I think. And it was so much fun to do, and it just felt like, because I love to cook and I love to bake, you know, and when you're on holiday, if you can't do that because you've got a small kitchen, but I've got a bit of a bigger kitchen now, and so this has really made the cooking much more fun, and I can do more things now. So I'm really enjoying this, I have to say. This is something I really wanted, and I'm really pleased I got. But again, it is a size question. If you have a small camper van, does the person you're buying for love cooking enough that it would be worth the extra space to be used? Of course, you can take this outside and cook it on an outside gas burner or whatever. So yes, highly recommend Omnia oven. So the other thing to mention, if you're buying for someone who's just got their camper van and maybe hasn't got their cook set yet, Coleman's do, this is a bit of a used one, but Coleman's do this cook set where everything fits inside and all of the handles unscrew. Right. So you've basically got a big pot, smaller pot, and it also comes with a frying pan, where the handle unscrews. So it's really good. So to store it, it just takes up that space. So it's really good for storing. It does come in a bag, but I just got rid of the bag because I don't need it. But the Coleman's, again, I'll It's all in my Amazon shop. That's a really good gift. If someone hasn't got a good pan set, it's a really good pan set for particularly a small van. So we had this in our T5. It's just a great use of space. So the other alternative to an SQ grill would be a Ridge Monkey. Lots of people swear by the Ridge Monkeys. A lot of fishermen use Ridge Monkeys. They're a little bit smaller than the SQ grill. Some of them, they come in different sizes actually, and some of them have separate compartments. So you can do like your egg in one, your beans, whatever, and keep it all separate. So the Ridge Monkey, and they're great for like cheese toasties, and they're much smaller. So if someone's got a very small van and they're only one person, maybe go and look at the Ridge Monkey range. You might find that that's much more suitable than an SQ grill. Sorry about the gas heater noise. Problem with our diesel heater. If you watch us, you'll know that this has been an ongoing thing, and I just went to turn it on, it's not working, so not happy. Anyway, we'll see if we can fix it again. Okay, so next section, outside cooking. So just because it's winter and you're buying for Christmas does not mean you don't consider outside, because most of the time when you go out in your camper van, you want to be sat in front of a fire or a barbecue and enjoying the outside life. Now, one time we gave a gift to someone who they loved camping, and basically Dave got one of these old metal paint tubs and drilled holes in the bottom, and then we filled it full of wood and marshmallows and biscuits, and we basically gave it as a gift as a wood burner. Now someone might say that's a cheapskate, but the people we were giving it to were like, oh, nice one, you know. They enjoyed that. So fire pit with kindling, marshmallows, biscuits and skewers, and you can even get those extendable forks, you know, something like that, a novelty item to go with it. But one of the outdoor barbecues that I think we might have to buy this year, unless someone sends me one, which would be ace, would be the Snow Peak barbecue set. So it's basically a fire pit, and you can get a tray that goes on top to turn it into a barbecue. But I've heard from my research that they are fantastic because they fold down. They don't buckle with the heat. They're really well made. They're lightweight, which is part of the problem with folding barbecues. If you get a good one that isn't going to buckle, they often are too heavy, and weight's an issue if you're in a van. And they come with like its own bag and everything, and they fold down to kind of a square. I'll put some images up here, but the Snow Peak starter kit outdoor barbecue stroke fire pit, and they just solve that problem of kind of a fire pit that can be used as a barbecue. So fire, barbecue, and if you get one of the heat mats that goes on the floor, which is something that we use to make sure that you don't burn the grass or the floor in any way, and they're dead cheap. They're like a tenner. You know, you can add one of those on the bottom, and I think they're great, and that would be an awesome gift for someone. If anyone wants to buy one, if anyone wants to buy us one of those for Christmas, we'd be ever so grateful. Snow Peak starter kit, large please. Right, next one. You can't go wrong with food and drink. So wine, obviously, beer, obviously, and anything mini. So you know those little selections they do of like mini hot sauce selection? Things like that are great. Dave loves spicy sauces. They're great for the camper van because he can just add it to his food, but it doesn't take up a whole cupboard space because you've got a big sauce bottle. So anything mini is a great idea. Food and drink, you could create a hamper with lots of different ideas of food and drink, and if they're not going to use it in the camper van, obviously they can use it at home. Okay, so this projector, you can see that, it's all in my Amazon shop. Brilliant little gift, and you just basically plug your phone in there and then sit it wherever, and it projects a much bigger image onto. We've got a white sheet that goes here. I'll probably do a video about this actually once I use it a bit more. We tend not to at the minute. We just do other things, you know. But this would be a great gift, I think. And you can also project it onto the side of your van if it's a white van. You know, if it's summer and you're outside and you want to watch a film by the campfire, you know, set it up all cosy outside. So that's a nice idea, a projector. The other thing, now, you know, you might laugh about this, but this is a massager. And if you're a lady of a certain age, it's quite nice to have something to help you with your aching muscles afterwards. No rude comments below, please, because I know you lot. It's a handheld one and it's USB chargeable. That's the important thing, not one of these massive gun things. It's a lot to store. This is small to store. It comes with different attachments. Got loads of different attachments. It even has like a hot and cold thing. You put that on hot and cold. But I use this a lot for, I have problems with my hips. If I've been on a walk or something, my hips just hurt. So I use this to kind of just help with aching muscles. And it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've actually got a bigger one at home, but a bigger handheld massager, and that one's just annoying. This is way better. So this is Bob and Brad, I think. It's all in my Amazon shop. Absolutely brilliant idea. Obviously, think about who you're giving it to. They might get the wrong idea, but a very useful item for its made purpose. Next, gadget. What else? I think I've done gadgets. Right, finally. So finally, if you have loads of money, and money is no object, then these are the things that I would gift my loved one. A Starlink, because who doesn't want a Starlink on their campervan so they can have internet wherever they are in the world? That would be awesome. Also, I read today, someone sent a message to me saying that Starlink, apparently, if you get the subscription, you can freeze it on the mini one, I think it was, and you can freeze it so that you're not using it while you're not using it, you're not having to pay the monthly subscription, then you unfreeze it when you go on your holiday. So I thought, actually, that's quite good. So a Starlink. Next one, an e-bike, a folding e-bike. So if you've got a big campervan, you've got room to store it, and a big campervan's it's hard to park in cities or busy places, even like places at peak season that are not cities. So having an e-bike allows you to charge it with your free electricity. Because it's folding, it fits either in a T5, you could turn the seat round and stick it in the footwell when you're living in the camper van, and in this van we just put it in the back, and it means that you can park your van out of the city and then cycling to go and explore. So a folding e-bike I think would be awesome. I really hope someone sponsors me at some point for a folding e-bike, 2 folding e-bikes in fact for me and Dave, because I really want a folding e-bike for this van so we can drop the bed, use folding e-bikes instead, and I think they'd be awesome. So if you do buy one though, make sure it's one that can do a reasonable distance, because there's nothing worse. These e-bikes, they're quite hard going to pedal because they've got the weight of the battery if they run out of energy. So consider that, consider how far they can go. E-scooters, that's another thing. They often fold down, and again, e-scooters, although you do feel like a bit of a chav, don't you, on a scooter? But if you don't care about that and you are a bit of a chav, then an e-scooter would be ideal. Lithium upgrade. So, I mean, lithium batteries, absolutely brilliant. Get rid of your electricity anxiety. Lightweight, very expensive, but worth every penny, I would say. So if you've money's no object, get a lithium battery, absolutely. Although I suppose as a gift, it'd have to be someone who really understands the effect of a lithium battery, because most people would be like, oh, thank you, not, you know, you'd have to like stick a bow around it or something, you know. Not everyone would appreciate that, would they? But I would. A lithium battery would be like, get in. Thank you very much. Hang on a sec. A wind out awning. So one of these awnings that goes on the side and you wind out. Again, they're very expensive. They're like £1 to £2 grand. But if you haven't got one and you've got a camper van, then there would be a massive upgrade that would be fantastic as a gift. But you probably have to get it fitted unless you're dead handy and can fit it yourself. And then of course Goodrich tyres, which Yorkshire Pop Tops has just had fitted, and his van now looks awesome. So Goodrich tyres of course would look awesome on my van for my off-roading that I do regularly, of course. So Goodrich tyres, they would look ace, and be a very expensive but cool gift for someone for Christmas. So the only other things to say, thank you for watching, the only other things to say is try and buy, when you do buy things, remember you haven't got a 3-pin plug in a camper van most of the time. USB chargeable is definitely better. So anything that's USB chargeable is much better. And think multi-use, so anything that has more than one use, from a practical point of view is also more important in a camper van. So just consider those things. Okay, so just to conclude, I hope that has given you some ideas for gifts for your loved one who loves camper vans. If you have got any other ideas, please put them in the comments. If you're watching this video, go and read the comments, because my comment section is awesome with really knowledgeable people that put ideas, things that they've bought people that I'm like, oh my goodness, what a great idea. So go and read the comments, because there's often some really good ideas in there for gifts that maybe I haven't thought of. But until then, I hope that you found this useful. I hope your Christmas shopping is painless and enjoyable, and that you're able to pick some amazing gifts for your loved one. And until then, I hope you enjoy the run up to Christmas. I hope there's a few more videos come out after this of our Christmas getaways, but until then, enjoy the Christmas run up. Okay, take care, bye.